back to Deshaun Watson, Puerto Rico, no offensive lineman. Big deal, no deal?
There's nothing for him to do. Like, if you're running routes with receivers and backs, then what are the linemen going to go through their protections and against there's nothing. Listen, Deshaun Watson's going to take care of his linemen, all right? They may not be part of this trip, but I promise you he's getting them gifts or he's getting them something. He'll take care of the guys who protect him. I don't think it's that big of a deal that they're not on this trip. There's nothing for him to do other than lay on the beach, which I'm sure the other guys will enjoy doing.
See, linemen are different. So I'll give you a case in point. So usually people don't understand that the linemen are secluded. Like the lineman, O-line hangs with the O-line, D-line hangs with the D-line. And offensive linemen, pretty much, to me, offensive linemen will probably be the smartest guys on the team. Like, they are quirky a little bit. They're homebodies. They like to be at home. They value, if they're going to do something, they'll get together. Because if you're an offensive lineman, you in hand-to-hand combat every single day. Yeah. So there's no reason for you to even be on that trip. Joe Bitonio does not want to go to Puerto Rico and sit out there with his beard. What are you going to do there? He'd rather be at the house. Some of these guys, Taylor is probably on a farm somewhere hanging out. They're not doing that. Like, so even if he did invite them, they would graciously say, I'm going to bow out of this one, have fun. All they're going to be doing is doing 7-on-7 and watching films and cut-ups anyway. So it's not like, it's not the same. Like, O-linemen don't want to go to that. Heck, D-linemen don't.
I think Jason said it best. Like, Watson will find a way to take care of the big guys up front. You've heard in the past, and I'm not sure if Watson has done this, but quarterback, they've bought their guys, their offensive linemen watches, suits, Rolexes, something like that. They don't have a spot in the 7-on-7 quote-unquote retreat in Puerto Rico. And I'm sure if Bitonio or Wyatt Teller or Pochich was like, hey, Deshaun, I want to come down just for a trip to Puerto Rico, he's got the money. He could have added them to the trip. I'm sure it was asked and they declined. It's not like he's excluding them by any means. And you see this happen a lot throughout the NFL where the quarterbacks take their playmakers. They get excused from voluntary camp to go work on their own things outside of the facility, on these exotic retreats, resorts, wherever they go. And it does build chemistry. And I do like the fact that Watson, for the second year in a row, has been proactive in trying to develop the chemistry off the field with his receivers, his tight ends, his backs, to hopefully have that translate on the field. It's not exclusive. Watson is certainly not the only quarterback in the league doing this, but I'd rather have my guy be part of the group that is doing it than be one of the few that does it, and then you have to have that discussion of, oh, Deshaun Watson may not be taking his guys to Puerto Rico or the Bahamas this year. Is there beef inside? We don't have to deal with that anymore. Watson is on the right side of this argument, and kudos to him for taking his guys to Puerto Rico. And if he wants to take us, hey, Deshaun, we're available.
I hope what's going on is, because this is the thing about a new offense. I hate new offenses because there's always a built-in new offensive excuse. Well, the Browns changed the way they want to, philosophically look at the offensive side of the football. They're not as running as much. There's not as much play action. And if it struggles, they're like, well, it's going to take time. Which, guess what? It is going to take a little bit of time, even though I'm a very impatient person when it comes to certain things like that. However, my hope is you and Stefanski have been around each other. You and Stefanski and the offensive coordinator have your basic bread and butter stuff down. So now, guess what? Stefanski can't bring them in during OTAs or during their time off and go over routes, but you can. So hopefully you got the basic playbook and you're running through that. So by the time you get to camp, all that basic stuff, everybody has it. We don't got to have no extra reps. We don't got to have people not know what they're doing. And now we can build on that more quickly to get more advanced concepts into the playbook. Now, Deshaun Watson is a very smart individual. Have you ever heard him talk about football?
He's a savant.
He remembers all kind of stuff, and he did safeties, and this is over here. Like, he's very impressive on the whiteboard. So hopefully he's getting those guys down there and working on this new playbook that Jason Lloyd talks about all the time.
Have you had a chance to speak with Deshaun at all on, like, whiteboard quarterback stuff, football stuff like that?
No. It's weird. Quarterback's hardly ever in the locker room when we're there, except for the days that he talks, and then they sort of whisk him in and whisk him out. So I've had a couple of opportunities just to say hi to him and make really quick small talk. But in terms of anything of actual substance, not yet. Hopefully this year.
Have you ever had that with a previous Browns? Is that something that they've ever I don't want to say allowed the media to do or helped you facilitate a setup?
No, Baker didn't really like talking.
Fair. I forgot. Yeah, that's fair.
I came in, I started hanging around the Browns in 2018. So that's really been my only exposure is Baker and now Deshaun.
Do you think this would be awesome if they would? They let you get on a whiteboard Josh Dobbs.
Oh, yeah.
You should do that. Josh Dobbs is we know the whole rocket scientist thing.
Yeah.
I covered him in Tennessee. Like, the smartest dude ever. I know you said offensive lineman, the smartest guys. I promise you, Josh Dobbs, IQ-wise, the smartest dude in that.
Oh, no, well, no, he's over the top.
Yeah. You should.
Literally.
If you don't, I'm going to ask. They don't like me over there. I don't think they don't like me. They just never answer any of our requests. So
the Browns are a
You
little
should definitely
different.
try and set that up. That'd actually be an awesome piece.
Yeah, I could do that. I'd play around with that.
Josh Dobbs is a genius.
Now, out of all these rocket scientists, right?
Out of all of them,
like
all one.
I mean, everybody.
I know two.
Everybody done graduated from Harvard or some other school somewhere. Out of all of that, because we sat there and we watched the Super Bowl, and when you say offense, right, new offense, the little quirks and screws that go off in your mind, you start to say, Andy Reid offense, and I don't think it's gonna be that. Like when you say new offense, what does that evoke in your mind as to what they possibly will run?
I think we're done with 13 personnel. I don't think we're going to see 3 tight ends on the field anymore. Probably not a lot of 12 personnel with 2 tight ends on the field.
Should we have a funeral for that?
No. Just let it die a gruesome death.
Yeah.
Starve it to death. Don't feed it. Just let it go. But I think you're going to see a lot of receivers on the field, and you're going to see plays where Kevin and Deshaun are going to work together and draw up what Deshaun's comfortable with. And I think part of the reason that Cedric Tillman is here is the fact that when plays break down, he can go win a jump ball. And that's what Deshaun likes to do, is he likes to freelance a little bit. And if he gets flush from the pocket, he's going to keep plays alive. And he's got a big target down the field now to just throw it up and let his guy go make a play. And I don't want to treat Tillman like a first-round pick. He's not. I don't want to treat him like George Pickens. He's not. He's got to prove it on the field first. But my only point is he's a big body who could be an emergency valve in a situation to go make a play. And DPJ did that a little bit. There was times where I think it was also other opportunities for him that he didn't get it done. We see a speed threat now in Elijah Moore that they didn't have before, a guy who can really stretch the field. And, again, someone Deshaun can go make a play with. I think sometimes the Browns' routes were very rigid and the receivers were very rigid. And when Deshaun tried to freelance a little bit, he didn't have cooperation on the back end, that guys didn't know quite what to do because the route said, I'm supposed to do this, so why is he over there? And hopefully they've diversified that a little bit more to where they can get a little bit more flexibility in the play routes.